welcome to the first episode of What's Well with Wyatt Wilkes that will be on YouTube, hopefully, if I can figure out editing. Please, let me figure out the editing. Alright, we got MJ Walker on the show. I think it's going to be a great time. I know it's going to be a great time. He's one of my good friends, former teammate, a lot of you know him. Thanks for watching. I'm really just trying to turn this thing into something big, and you guys are really helping me out. We got a sponsor besides staying in for today's video, but might throw that in later. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Let's have some fun today. All right, let's get started. 3, 2. All right, first YouTube video. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy? You good?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
All right, first things first. Make sure you talk right in the mic so that my editing doesn't have to take 10 years, which it might, because who knows how good I am at it. All right, people, you get to see it on video. You get to see MJ's beautiful face. We got a bunch of junky lights up here. I'm filming on my iPhone, so I have it written. I can barely even read my own handwriting, but we're gonna do it. All right, so how you been postseason? Season's over. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I mean, honestly, it's just, breaking down. I had a little period of time where I, recovered and got my rest, but once I started the agency process, got my agent and kind of trained out in Cali, and I mean I've been flying all over the place ever since. So
all right, talk about that. How do you get an agent? Because I mean honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Actually someone asked me the other day. They were like, "Have you thought about getting an agent?" And I was like, "I don't even know how I would go about getting an agent."
Mm-hmm. No, it's I didn't know either. I mean, it's a weird process. I mean, it's almost like getting recruited from a college all over again. So it's like,
but I mean, at least are they trying to okay, explain. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Please continue.
No, it's all good. No, it's basically like, so I mean, Coach and them, they kind of already had like agencies reaching out to them type deal. So I had like 4 agencies. It was like between who was it, Rock Nation and You First Sports, and obviously I'm with BDA and another agency. But I mean, they kind of like had 4 of them already looking at me, and I did interviews with each one of them, and it was like hour interviews where they got a whole presentation and basically saying what they offer. It's almost like literally like a college recruiting you all over again. And it's just, it took a lot of time, but I mean, it's pretty much the same process.
So what were you looking for in an agency? Like, were you trying to go big? Were you trying to, because I know some people, I know an agent that works in football, and he's under a pretty small company, but he gets a lot of guys. Like he was telling me a couple of years ago that a lot of guys want to be with a smaller company because they're more of a focus. So like, what were you like? I don't know how big the company you're working for is, how many agents they got, or whatever. I'm talking on the side of my neck right now, but like, what were you looking for like in these meetings? Like, is there anything specific?
I'll say like just their consistency overall. I felt like, I mean, when I chose BDA, they were like the most consistent throughout the process. After the first meeting, they were sending me information, pretty much every other day, just keeping me updated about, what to expect, what I'm gonna be looking for in the next couple months, a plan, within the next couple months, and then, I mean, honestly, I didn't want to be too small to where, politically, I wouldn't have the best chance,
Mm-hmm.
but I also wanted to be with the agency that, I mean, these BDA has done well with Trent Forrest, they've done well with Terrence Mann, guys that I already know.
Okay, so the Trent and Terrence are with the same company?
Yeah.
All right.
BDA as well.
So did they recommend you, or were they already on you before, like as soon as the season ended?
Yeah, they pretty much were already set in stone. They kind of been hitting up CY and I guess the past 2 seasons. So yeah, it's been, I mean, that's kind of went into my decision, them two, and then, I mean, like I said, after the first meeting, they were pretty much consistent the whole time. So.
Well, I'm happy for you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so been good after the postseason. Obviously, you've been doing all the workouts and the combines and all this and that. How has that been? Like, what's the process like? Like from, let's say, okay, so you get an agent, What's the first step? What are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, after the agent, it's pretty much you have your pre-draft workouts. It's not really like going to team workouts, but it's more of like getting you, wherever area that you're willing to train at, you'll be there pretty much. Almost like when we do a preseason training with like in August, type deal. Like what do we call it? I forgot what we call it. But I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Like we go there for a month. I went out to Santa Barbara for like a whole month.
Shout out Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. The weather.
Oh yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Right.
Yeah, it's always the same. Like it's 72, sunny, like always perfect.
Consistent.
But how'd you pick a trainer? Is that something that your agent does? Like how's that handled?
Yeah, so it kind of BDA basically kind of got like their own little setup out there in Santa Barbara. So they kind of got like their own whether it's strength training. I worked out with P3. They already had a relationship with them already, and I worked out there with Packy Turner. He has his own little training facility and type deal, and we worked out with him out there, and they pretty much kind of already got their people in place as far as their agency and whatnot. So but you can also, as a player, like you have the option to, if you wanted to train with someone that you've been training with your whole life back home, they work for you. You know what I'm saying? So you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You can be working out back home, and then if you want to be going from here and back up, like right now I'm working out from here in Atlanta. So you can switch it up. I mean, it just depends on, you gotta have that conversation with your agent.
So are they trying to structure the workouts like the team workouts will be? Like is it pretty similar, or like what are you doing? Are you trying to work on specific things in your game, or are you trying to get ready for those team workouts, or is it a little bit of both?
It's like all of it combined, honestly. I mean, a lot of the workouts that I've been going to is, you do your ball handling as a warm up, you do finishing, and you put up shots, and then you play 3-on-3 pretty much the whole time. So for the most part, that's kind of what we've been doing back in Santa Barbara. It's kind of just been, it's a lot of skill work. Obviously, it's a lot longer workouts, but it's kind of tailored, on the workouts that I'm doing now, with other teams. So, but majority it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
All right. So, have you done team workouts yet?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So how many, or what are they like? Like what like you walk in, like how's it go? Because I think you see the clips on Twitter a lot, like where you're doing some shooting, or you're coming off ball screens, whatever. But like, I don't think, me personally, until very recently, I had no idea what actually took place. Like, you walk in the gym, how's it go? Like, give me a rundown.
Yeah. So for example, I did my first workout when I went to Boston. When I went up there, it's kind of like you got to do a physical pretty much as soon as you get there. They'll have you sign a waiver and all that type of stuff, and then they'll do a physical on your body, make sure no injuries or anything like that. They kind of put us like through a couple, weightlifting exercises, and they'll test your, they kind of like force plates on the ground where they'll test your vertical, how much strength you use when you get off the floor, how powerful you are, and then after that, you'll get on the court, and they'll test your vertical on the court. They'll do the shuttle drill.
Okay, so it's not just a skill workout.
Yeah, it's the combine stuff, and it's the and it's the workout.
All right. So what? Yeah. Time-wise, what are we talking? Like how much time is it? Like you walk in the gym to when you walk out of the gym. Yeah. How much time are we talking?
Yeah, we probably start around 8:30. Eat your breakfast, and then with combine, you do the combine stuff, and then the workout probably won't be done until around 2-3 o'clock. So. It's a job. It's a job. It's a job.
All right. Yeah. So if you scoot a little bit closer to the mic, that'd be perfect. You can scoot chair forward, whatever, pull that thing, whatever you want to do. But so I think the Twitter clips, as most Twitter clips are deceiving. A lot of people were like, I saw one a couple years ago of a guy, and they were like, he's so slow, he looks so tired, blah, blah, blah. Well, they don't realize how much he's done that. Like, who knows? He could have did 3 workouts that day. You know, like you lifted. I mean, and not only that, but you're traveling as well. Like we were talking before the podcast in the gym today, just about the travel alone. I remember my first or second episode. I think I had Terrence on. He was talking about just how not only was it lonely, but it was just exhausting having to get on a plane and go. Like you work out, get on a plane, and now you move. You stay in a hotel, work out, get on a plane, go. So it's just like that took its toll on him. Is that the same for you? Would you say?
It's crazy. It's kind of like you feeling a trance almost. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like Terrence said, it's a lonely deal. You're out there and you're by yourself. You know, you don't know anybody. You know, I've ran into a ball shit a couple times doing workouts, but I mean, other than that, I mean, you kind of, it's a lonely road by yourself, and you gotta like pretty much, you know, you gotta get your rest. I learned early. I mean, taking care of your body. I mean, you go to these workouts. It's not like college to where, you know, Coach B will put us through a whole stretch and workout before we play. It's like they'll put you through 2 to 3 minutes worth of stuff, and they expecting you to already been stretched before you get on the court. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you gotta really like take care of yourself, like mentally, physically. Like it's literally a job. Like they don't care about, you know, you being stressed, not being stressed out enough, or you know how you feeling that day, or you know they ready for you to perform that day. So I mean, you know, it's a road traveled alone for sure.
Are you doing when you're doing the actual workout itself? Is it by yourself or is it with other guys?
No, it's with other guys. So it's like now the lottery guys, you know, they do workouts, you know, by themselves. Like Scotty per se, they go to hit. Y'all seen he went to Orlando the other day. I mean, he's in there by himself because they're not trying to risk that. But I mean, guys like me, it's like 6 guys in there. You know, it's a 6-guy workout, so we can play 3-on-3 type deal. But I mean, for the majority of the part, I mean, it's every workout has been 5 people. So
is it different every time? Like when you travel to a different team, and then it's gonna be different guys. Have you ever had like the same guys being like in a different workout with a different team?
Yeah, some of them you kind of run into a lot. Like probably 1 or 2 guys, your position you kind of see, you know, consistently. But for the most part, it's pretty a good shuffle of guys. You know what I'm saying? In different workouts.
So who would you say is the best player that you played with, or against? Because I know you were in the combine as well.
Yeah.
So who would you say is the best player that, like, just in your opinion, that you thought you were like, oh man, this guy's good?
Yeah, in the combine.
Yeah. Let's just say the combine then.
Yeah. I mean,
because the combine is difficult. Like it's like it doesn't fit everybody's game.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, which I think you can, if you know basketball, you can see it on the court. I mean, we talked about that as well pre-show, but like, you know, it obviously doesn't fit everybody. I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit harder on the bigs. And if you don't have a really good ball-moving guard, it's going to be more difficult. But regardless, especially if you have a ball-dominant scoring guard. That makes it more difficult. But who would you say just that you thought that was the best player that you played with or against?
I wouldn't say I'm gonna say it's the best player in the combine that I played against. Now in workouts though.
All right, we'll do workouts.
Team workouts, I'll probably say Trey Murphy from Virginia. I think that's his name. Trey Murphy, right? Is that his name?
Oh, well. I need somebody to come.
I need to make sure because I just followed. But
I need my non-existent cameraman to look this up.
It gotta be Trey. Yeah, Trey Murphy.
Okay,
Trey
Murphy. God, I didn't want to say anything to be wrong. But
that's his name. He's cold, bro.
Really?
Like I mean, you know when we played him, like I remember a couple of times, like he had a fast break dunk, and I'm just like, bro, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's got that thing about him.
Yeah, like he hasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, in the Virginia type system, I mean, it's kind of simple. They ain't really, I'm gonna say they ain't let him get off, but like, you could tell that he has so much more. And like in the workouts, man, hey, he cold.
Yeah.
He cold. He should go.
I think the NBA game suits him.
No, definitely.
Just he can slash. He's really athletic. He can do all those things. What's his name from Sam Hauser from Virginia?
Yeah, Sam.
That boy can shoot. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Look at it. Hey, look. Hey, this is on video now, Matt.
This is the second time this has happened.
This is the second time this has happened.
What's up,
Matt, here, lean in, say hi. I told everybody that I was going to get you on, so you're definitely coming on.
Yes.
Now be quiet. I thought he was gone. He's been out of town, and of course, as soon as we do this, he shows back up. But I was watching him in the combine, Sam Hauser, and golly, every shot looks like it's going in. Every single shot. And it was surprising to me because I think, like you were saying with Virginia, like their system, I think oftentimes, I wouldn't say limits people, but I think it kind of, I think that's the best word. I don't have another word for it. I don't think that they really get to show as much as like they probably can do. Yeah. I think it's really good for some guys, but for others, I think it may be limiting. Sam Hauser, obviously great for him. He had a great year, but he's just one of those guys where when the ball leaves his hand, you're just like, you know, like it's never, unless you're on his team, and then you're like, yes, you know, whether it's gone in or not, you're like, okay, it's probably good. Let's get back on defense. You know, I think it's always good to have one of those guys on your team. So what's the biggest difference between, like, just talking purely workouts? What's the biggest difference between an NBA style workout and a college style workout? Is there a difference? I mean, I assume.
No, more when you're in college. I mean, you're kind of 9 times out of 10. You know, we were more so running our system all the time. You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff we did was based on our system, and we were kind of just. I mean, we were competing. You know, we do a lot of fundamentals, but I think more so the workouts is kind of cutthroat to where it's like it's more. I mean, we're playing live 3-on-3. You know what I mean? It's almost like we're playing pickup, but I mean, you kind of playing it smart at the same time. But I mean, it's cutthroat.
You're playing basically for a position.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, it's still like that in college. You're playing for a position, but there's not a career on the line as much. It's not the same thing. Like obviously down the road in college, you know, you get that spot. Maybe it raises your potential, but that I don't think a whole lot of college players until they get a little bit older start thinking about that. Like we were talking, Tenor Ngam has been. He's really been playing really well, and I mean, it's his last year. There's something about it when it's your last year. I mean, I feel the same way. It's just all of a sudden things get real serious, you know. And I think that's just heightened when you're working out for a team. You know, I mean, like at the end of the day, there's millions of dollars on the line. You know, and people got to provide for their families. And like, unless you got kids already, then you really got to provide. Old boy from Boston College back in the day, gave us buckets. He's like 29. All right, so how do you, now that you're gone, you're looking from the outside, what do you think about the NIL laws? What are your feelings?
On what?
The NIL laws, the name, image, and likeness stuff.
Okay.
What are you feeling about it? Because everybody's got a slightly different idea of what, you know.
Nah, facts. I mean, me personally, I'm a creative dude, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I always, you know, especially with the way they got it set up now, I mean, there's so many different things you can be a part of. And I'm happy, you know what I'm saying, that all athletes are having the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of something like that. But at the same time, I need my money.
Well, of course.
You know what I'm saying? I could have been making bread, you know what I mean? But
of course, it's as soon as you leave.
As soon as I leave, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good, though. I mean, at least I'm making money next year, you know, so. I mean, at the same time, I could have had some stash at least.
You know, I'm trying to work on that right now. And that brings me to the ads. All right. Boom. It's ad time. First one up, staying in. Tried and true. StayingInOnline.com offers meal kits from restaurants themselves, and then we give you a video from the restaurant chef teaching you exactly how to cook that meal. No, you're not getting food from Publix or from some other supplier and then we give it to you. It's not a recipe. It is the food from the restaurant. And we show you exactly how to cook that meal. You want to learn how to cook a nice filet? We got you. You want to learn how to cook BLT dip from Madison Social? we got you. So head over to stayingonline.com and give it a try. Let me know how it goes. Now, our newest sponsor is Phone Hero. Phone Hero, I've been going to them for forever. I love them. My boy Austin over there, the owner, he's a great guy, okay? I can't tell you enough how happy I am to have them as a sponsor for this podcast. They're really gonna help me out. They're really gonna help you guys out. Make sure you use them. I've used them for everything. I've gotten new phones from them. I've gotten computers fixed by them. You can sell them your used stuff. They have great prices, and they'll help you fix things that you don't want to get rid of yet. You got a phone, you break it, they're gonna fix your screen. Now, I've been to a lot of other places like that. I'm clumsy, I break my phone all the time. They do it right. I can't stress that enough. I'm not just saying that. I tell people this when they're not sponsoring my podcast. Okay, that's how much I like them. I reached out to them because I wanted to tell the world, hey, look, Phone Hero is the best out there. Now, if you're in Tallahassee, they do have an online store, but if you are in Tallahassee, it is very easy to just walk right in there and say, hey, I need this, I need that. They have chargers, they have everything you could possibly need. So go to Phone Hero, and they're going to give you a great deal. They're great guys, and they do really, really, really solid work. And I'm happy to have them as a sponsor. I'm probably going to have Austin on the podcast. So sorry to interrupt the podcast that I'm doing with MJ right now, but hey, you know what? It's ad time, baby. All right, let's get back to it. Thanks again. And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that ad. That set of ads. It's technically two. All right. I kind of want to rewind a little bit. Obviously, we've kind of moved on to you working out in the NBA and doing that kind of stuff. But I kind of want to move back, talk a little bit about the COVID year. Obviously, post that that season, you've been doing well. It's great. Very happy for you. But two questions. Obviously, not obviously. I don't know what I'm saying. Is the NBA, like, what are the protocols when you're going for workouts? Like, what's going on with that? Is it, are they requiring vaccines? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so it's tricky, man. I mean, like, for the majority of the part, like, with different workouts I've been going to, I mean, usually when you get there, that night before you work out the next day, they do a COVID test, and then after your workout, they do a COVID test for the next workout that you're going to. So, but for example, when I went to, I had a workout with Phoenix, and I was kind of in the gym. I hadn't had the vaccine yet prior to going to Phoenix, so I was just like, I wasn't against it, but I didn't feel like I needed it. You know what I mean? Because I'm still wearing a mask. I'm still, anywhere I go, like, I'm saying, I'm still gonna have to do the same protocols if I had the vaccine. So it was just like Phoenix kind of made the deal because when CP3 he got COVID, you know what I mean, during the playoffs, it was like, well, listen, we want you to come to our workout, but at the same time, we only taking vaccinated players. So I'm just like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's an opportunity that, I can't just be like, well, I ain't getting the vaccine because,
it's not worth it.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But,
at
the same time, it's just like, it's a one-life opportunity. Like, how they gonna hit me on the head with saying if you don't get the vaccine? They ain't saying like force me to get it, but
of course. But they're basically saying, hey, if you don't get it, we're not
right. We're not
gonna look at you.
So I'm just like, I'm in a jam type deal. Like, I'm just like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I do? You know what I mean? I ended up getting it type deal. It took a minute, like, personally, because I wasn't really a big fan of the vaccine, but at the same time, it's like just one of them things where you don't really have control over it. It's just like you just gotta do what you gotta do. So that was like one situation though, to where it was like like this is serious. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta do it.
So you ended up getting the vaccine?
Yeah.
The whole FSU team got vaccinated as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the actual season, I talked to Malik about it, talked about it a couple other times, but just the toll that it took on everybody, not just players and coaches, but staff, the people, the flight attendants, everybody. So what were your takeaways I would say for that season.
Man, it was rough. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It was like, with the way that you already know how we operate. You know what I'm saying? Like
Coach Ham is a huge germaphobe. Okay? The man is strapped at all. Listen to me. The man is strapped at all times with some Germ-X hand sanitizer. Okay, I'm not plugging a brand. I'm just. If you ever meet him and you shake his hand, he will use hand sanitizer right afterwards.
Damn right.
Okay, it's inevitable. Do not feel bad. I promise he does it to everybody. I've seen a line of people and it shake his hand, and then he uses hand sanitizer after every one.
Yep.
Shakes the next person's hand. But anyway, continue.
It was definitely rough, man. I feel like, with the way that it happened, you know what I'm saying, we had to quarantine so many times, and you already know how like our relationships are, off the court. We didn't really have that luxury last season, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that we weren't connected, but it was just like the way, because of COVID, you know what I mean? It just took so much away from.
There wasn't the same, like, there just wasn't any time to team bond, really.
Yeah.
It was just work, go home, get up the next day, work. There was no hanging out. There was no, this year, the whole team went to Bear Paw and floated down a river for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, it doesn't seem like anything crazy, but we just talked for 4 hours. You learn a lot about people. You learn a lot about your teammate. So not having that, obviously, I think that was probably the biggest thing for us.
No, definitely.
The second biggest thing I would say was probably the lack of workouts in the beginning.
Yeah,
I think that really hurt us.
Yeah, physically, definitely, because the stopping and going was so many different times. Like I don't think we had a positive COVID test all year, and
not a real positive. We had false positives.
Yeah.
Shoot, I got the false positive the first time because I had it in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the rules, I didn't have to get tested for like 100 days or something, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. First test back, we did like the saliva test or something. Everybody was already like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And then of course I test positive, so I feel terrible. I'm like, oh my god.
That was Boston College.
That was Boston College.
Yeah.
And then who else was it for Duke? And there were a couple, but we ended up losing 5-6 games or something. Just what I don't understand is why do we have to sit out a week? That's what I never got.
Yeah,
because that was tough because you're in shape, then you sit for a week and you really can't do anything.
Right.
And it's like you don't you're not sure, right? So it's like I don't want to put other people at risk. So I gotta stay home. There were times when I was in here doing burpees and just trying to stay in shape. We're in the middle of the season and we gotta sit for 10 days straight, and it's just physically it was very tough, but also mentally. Everybody knows the quarantine. It was tough on everybody. The bubble. I'll never go back. They'll never get me in another bubble.
Oh my goodness! I ain't gonna lie. It got to a point with the bubble. I'm just listen, man. You don't even know if you feel like. You don't know if you feel like hooping anymore, bro. It's literally just
is it worth it? But bro, that sounds ridiculous to say.
Yeah.
But it really does. Sitting in that room by yourself, and that you can't go out except for food or basketball. Other than that, it starts to play on you, man. You start thinking you start thinking man, is this what I want to do? Do I want to be here right now? And I think, obviously we had other former teammates that played for other schools who shall not be named, but maybe one that lost a little early. But the word on the street was from him that they were pretty shocked by the time they even got there.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, we went from the ACC tournament, which was a bubble, straight to the NCAA tournament, which was a bubble. So there was no time in between where, even though at least here, hey, welcome to my apartment, by the way. But at least here it's you're at home,
right.
You got I got
space.
Exactly.
But
exactly. But on the road, it's a foreign place. So I think that made it a little bit more difficult, especially like going. I mean, especially how we lost the ACC championship in the tournament. That was brutal. That was coming off losing the regular season championship in the worst way.
Yeah.
Like golly, and then we go straight to the NCAA tournament, and it's like when we first got there, I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Like I really don't. Like they're like, yeah, you can't. Even as a team, like when you're allowed out of the room, you have to walk with an ambassador. Like, I felt like I was in third grade again. Like walking a line. They actually did have lines. They had like lines on the floor, that we were supposed to follow. I mean, that didn't really happen, but it was pretty hectic. It was hectic in the most absolutely boring way possible. All right, so I got a couple. I got 3 questions that I got from some DMs from people. I'm gonna throw one out there, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of NBA Finals. So, what is your favorite shoe to wear while playing?
While playing,
I don't know if you can even answer that. Call your agent. But favorite shoe to wear while playing?
Yeah. This past year, it was more so KD's and Kyrie's. KD's are more, they were very comfortable to wear.
KD's are very comfortable.
Kyrie's are stable around the ankle, so.
Yeah. We both know. We sitting in this living room right now is about 14 ankle injuries over the course of 4 years. Okay, so to compound on that question, what do you think is the best basketball shoe of all time?
Of all time?
Obviously, I would assume like probably post 2005, something maybe. But I don't know, because you could say J's. Technically you can play in J's, but like I wouldn't say that most people think about them as basketball shoes. Played in the 13s, things like that. But most of the time, I would say those are just walk around. But like, what in your opinion? Let's just say any time frame, obviously. No. What's your favorite like basketball shoe that's ever come out that you've ever played in? What do you think's the best?
I'm probably gonna have to go with Kobe's, to be honest. I can't wear
just
Kobe's.
The whole Kobe line.
Yeah. I can't wear Kobe's personally just because they too low for me. The ankles support and all that. But like they did drop a Kobe though. I think it was Kobe 9. So I think it came up about
it came up
right here.
It was real. I don't know which shoe that was, but it came up high.
But yeah,
like almost like a little like close to ridiculous.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I would. Oh man, it's hard. That's a hard. I've worn a lot of shoes in my life playing basketball. I think I'm gonna go with a dark horse favorite here. I would say the 2010 Hyperdunk.
Oh, the Hyperdunk.
You know what I'm saying? Like way back. Like I'm talking like the classic like $80 2010 Hyperdunks. You could like run those things over with a car, drag them behind your car for like 10 miles, and they'd be pristine. They made those things to last. I'm pretty sure I still probably got a pair from middle school, just hold up in my closet. They were cheap. They stayed together really well. And my feet didn't like the reason I always wore them was because like especially when I was younger, like my feet were growing so fast that like most shoes just killed my feet, like killed them. And like, hey, I was butt crack middle class, man. I was like, hey Dad, what about them Kobe's? And he's like, how about these Hyperdunks? Yeah. And I was like, okay. Still probably got. Hey, I still wear them. People are like, what kind of shoes do you buy? I'm like, buy? I'm like, do you mean what type of the team is the team gonna give me? Like, that's what I'm wearing, But all right, so we're gonna skip. Or we're not gonna skip, but we're gonna hold off on the next 2 NBA Finals. Give me a prediction.
I still got Phoenix in 7.
Phoenix in 7.
I got Phoenix in 7.
All right, who do you think's winning tonight? Obviously, this is when you're listening to this, you're probably. It'll probably be next week, maybe like Wednesday-ish. Yeah. Depends on if I can figure out how to edit this thing, or if it's even still filming. I might not even have any video. But if not, and you're listening to this, I apologize. But so let's just say tonight. So you think Phoenix in 7 tonight? Who do you got?
Yeah, I got. Phoenix
This is game 5, by the way.
Yeah. Phoenix, they're at home too, so I feel like they're gonna win. The first one, coming back, from Milwaukee and that crowd. But I feel like they're gonna go on the streak here. They're gonna win 2. They may win. What is it? It's 2-2 right now.
2-2, yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna win the first one. The next one gonna be tough though, because Milwaukee gonna understand.
Yeah, do or die.
So it could be. It's a toss up on the next one. It could go 3-3, and then Game 7 in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I got 2 takeaways. I think from watching the NBA Finals is one, thank God fans are back. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize how much it meant. Not only as a player, I realized as a player, but as a viewer, I didn't even really gauge how much it actually mattered.
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching the New York series, when they were at New York, bro, it was just a different atmosphere, and it was completely packed. They didn't. Did New York even have the things behind the benches open? Was it completely? I can't remember, but it was amazing. It was so much fun to watch, and that was really it just makes it so much more fun. Second would be I saw a glimpse of it was like a 10-minute stretch when I think the last game when Milwaukee just said screw it, and they just started playing hard nosed 90s style basketball. They just started throwing Phoenix around.
Yeah.
And it was top to bottom. From Brook Lopez to Drew Holiday. And I think they may have found something. Mm-hmm. Now, I think it's still going to go 7, but I think Milwaukee was down 9 or 10, something like that, and then they just said, all right, they're not going to get another offensive rebound. We're going to drive every single time,
too,
and we're going to be more physical than them, and we're going to throw them around. And if the refs call, all right, but look, in my opinion, the more aggressive team is going to dictate how the game is going to go. The refs, it's going to get to a point where the refs are not gonna steer the game, just because I don't think that they want to get in the way. They don't want to dictate who wins. And I think I saw that and I was like, oh man, this might be the key to the series, because as skilled and as great a shooting team, and they got all the pieces as Phoenix does, and I'm really happy for Chris Paul. I'm happy that he's in the finals. I think he really deserves it. But I just think that 10-minute stretch there that I saw was it was a little eye-opening. I think it opened their eyes where they were like, oh, okay, we can play like this all the time. We can do this all the time. Now, will they come out next game and do that? We're back in Phoenix now. Right. It's a little bit different. Phoenix has some great fans, and those guys want to win. I don't know if you watch a little bit past the game, but Devin Booker walking off the court through the tunnel.
Oh yeah.
And it was just you could see it on his face.
He knew what time it was.
He was he was all right, and it was just there was a mix of pain and determination, and I was like, oh man, it might be tough on Milwaukee coming back. So, and that guy's just on another planet right now. Him and Chris Middleton, obviously. I expect Giannis to do what Giannis does. Chris Paul, he's been a staple in the NBA for so many years. I expect him to do that. But Chris Middleton on the stage and Devin Booker, in his first playoffs, is absolutely ridiculous. He's been hitting some shots both of them, that are just honestly unbelievable. That are just where no matter how good a defense you play, they're going to score. And I think it just makes it really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I don't want it to be insanely long this time. I'm sure you have places to be, people to see. All right, let's see. What do you think is the best part of your game?
The best part of my game, probably say. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll probably just say my physicality, honestly, just being able to get downhill, whenever I want to, and being able to knock the three down as well, because I mean, if you can knock the three down, that's a lot closer.
Then they gotta come out.
Yeah, so I get easy driving lanes, driving kicks, you know what I mean, and that creates opportunities for my teammates. So I feel like that's a unique part of your game if you can be able to knock shots and get to the basket when you want to.
I would have said the same thing.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna just say your ability to not only get in the lane, but physically get in the lane where you're drawing an extra guy or two.
Mm-hmm.
You get people open, and then as well as be able to hit that shot, both the three, both off the catch and off the dribble.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is really probably what makes you the player that you are. What do you think? Obviously, they didn't ask this, but I'm just going to expand on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a second part of their question, but just to continue on this right here, what do you think is the part of your game that will translate the best to the NBA style? Because a lot of people, I think a lot of fans don't understand that the college game and the NBA game are different games. Like, it's not even the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a complete, like, just the way the rules make it and the style of play is just completely different. So, like, what do you think if you had to pick one thing about your game that you think would translate the best, what do you think it would be?
I mean, just being able to knock down shots efficiently. I mean, I feel like the league is becoming a 3-point, you know what I mean, let me say 3-and-D league, but like, you got to be able to knock down shots, you know what I'm saying? So
that translates anywhere.
That's going to get you paid.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like my ability to do that and defense as well, I mean, I feel like that's something that's people don't realize, but that keeps you in the league as well. And, with my size and my quickness, I feel like I can be able to guard, 1 through 3 type deal. So, I mean, especially in the NBA, they need guys that are scrappy and, that come in the game and create that energy, almost like what T-Man's doing for the Clippers. So
I have a player comparison. It just came to me.
Yeah.
I think you are going to be much like a Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
With more, you remind me a lot of Jay Crowder, but with more of a handle. Like you're going to be able to get more of a playmaking ability. Jay Crowder is like a quintessential 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
He is the kind of their enforcer, really. They're going to put him. It's like a PJ Tucker type. It's like obviously the NBA doesn't have the Charles Oakleys anymore, where you have like a true enforcer. But I think Jay Crowder is really the closest thing that Phoenix has to one.
Right.
And if they really want to upset an offense or really get under a guy's skin, they usually put Jay on. And because he's athletic and quick, but he's strong. I think you're the same way. He can shoot, the catch and shoot, but I think that you're better at getting into the lane and making some plays for people and for yourself. But I think that just defensive ability and how you'll be able to use your strength in the league, I think that's a pretty solid comparison. Although, who knows? I could be absolutely completely wrong. And I think that's what makes comparisons dumb. But I just thought about it and had to say it. All right, so the second part of their question was, what do you need to work on the most?
I'll probably just say, I kind of been saying this in my interviews when I go with teams, but just being able to rebound the ball better. And
offensively, defensively, or both?
Both. I feel like defense you're gonna get rebounds, but offensively that's kind of like more of a mindset thing. But,
so are you just like, obviously that's a tougher thing to work on like day in and day out, but like in a drill setting per se, but like are you trying to, like when that ball goes up, are you what are you thinking? Like what are you now like trying to just hit the glass more often? Like are you trying to go every time? Like what are you trying to do? Like are you looking at the guys, like how tracking the ball? Like what are you doing?
Yeah, just like 9 times out of 10, like it's more of a fatigue thing than it is, like just crashing the boards. But it's kind of more like, being willing to you know, get in there, get your head in there, get a tip out or whatever the case may be, knowing how the ball's coming off the rim, being in the right spot, not collapsing the rebound and shit, just being in the right place at the right time. And I feel like, I mean, you get more possessions like that. I mean, rebounds get you paid too. You know
Oh yeah, 10 free.
That's something I'm trying to add to my resume.
What? Oh man, I wish I had the stat. The one that the coaches always said. It was like the amount of money per rebound or something.
Oh yeah.
It was just like it was unbelievable. It was like, you know, $1 million a rebound or something for some guys. Like how their contracts work out compared to their averages,
Right.
which is just mind-boggling to think about.
Right.
But like quick story for you probably know, some of you may not, but is what's his name? The Bulls.
Pat?
No. Played with Michael Jordan. The Worm.
The Worm. Oh, we're talking about you're not talking about Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Oh.
That's embarrassing. Dennis Rodman used to get all of the guys on his team and make them come in and shoot. This would take a long time because, you know, he wouldn't ask him to miss. He just asked him to shoot.
Right.
So, you know, and then all he would do is just watch him shoot, and then he would get learn how they missed from every spot on the court.
Right.
And I think that, I mean, obviously that is, you know, that's another level of rebounding. But it just reminded me like us talking about just like how you learn how to rebound. Like that is a very specific way of learning how to rebound that you're who knows? I don't know if he wrote it down or anything like that, but I just know that, you know, you had Michael, Scotty, Coop Coach, all those guys come in and would just sit there. And I mean, hey, if they make 20 in a row, all right, but then he remembers that miss. All right, so if they're in the corner, he tends to miss long or miss short, whatever it is. I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, the last one. This is a good question. What is the hardest part about the transition from college to NBA, pre-NBA, that type of deal? Like, what's the most difficult thing that you know, you between the two?
Probably say being able to keep yourself at a high condition, you know, throughout the whole process, because it's so easy to. I mean, it's really your world. You can really, if you don't want to work out, nobody's making you work out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's making you, you know, get up every day and, you know, get 2 in, or, you know, it's really up to you. And when you go to these workouts, you'll get exposed. You know, they put you through these 3-on-3 drills and, you know, these shooting drills and these, you know, conditioning. Some got pretty hard conditioning drills. I go to Boston, we're doing a 3-minute run. How many touches you can get at the end after 4 games of 3-on-3 half court and transition? You know what I'm saying? So, you got to be mentally and physically in the best shape. I ain't gonna say your life, but
I mean,
it's pretty much like every single workout, and it's back to back to back, and you got to be able to take care of your body and regenerate that juice to do it all over again. And that's probably the hardest part, because I mean, throughout the season, you playing the game. I mean, kind of get you know, it's not like we're playing games, but I mean, technically, I mean, the environment is the same thing. So I mean, that's probably the biggest thing about it, being able to play, you know, pretty much being the best shape of your life, because it's not like you got a sub. You know what I'm saying? So,
are you stretching? Like how often are you stretching out? Like, what are you doing body wise? I'm a big I stretch every day. I mean, I kind of have to, but you know, are you waking up stretching? Like, are you stretching before the workout, after? Like, what are you doing?
No, so usually when I fly in, I'll take about 20 to 30 minutes, just sit down and just stretch. You know what I mean?
Get out those kicks.
I feel like a plane. You know what I'm saying? I'm already tight, my back tight, knees a little stiff. You know what I'm saying? So I just take 20 to 30 minutes as soon as I get there to just, you know, just stretch it out, so that way, you know, when I wake up, you know, we go to these workouts, you know, I'm not just basically taking my plain body straight on the court, you know what I'm saying? So usually in the morning too, it just depends on how much time. Like some workouts start earlier than others, so I mean I still gotta get my sleep as well. You know what I mean? So if it's like a workout like 9:30 or something, I'll probably get up and get some extra stretching in on top of breakfast. But other than that, I mean that's.
I think I've found that like getting up and stretching in the morning, like it doesn't have to be like super early or anything, but just in general, whenever I wake up and then do some stretching, I tend to just move better later in the day. Like just feel better, move better. Like I don't have as many aches and pains, and just in general, you know. I would say even more than like stretching right before the workout, which obviously you still have to do. Yeah. But I think that I get looser quicker. Like when I stretch in the morning, instead of like that being the first time I stretch.
Right.
You know, stretching is pretty much just changed my life straight up. But yeah, so I mean that pretty much sums it up, man. That's all I got for you. Yes, thanks for coming on.
For sure.
All right. I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for being the first guinea pig on the new YouTube channel. I actually have no idea if it's still filming. So once again, if you're listening, it's on my phone. So taped to a thing sitting on 2 cardboard boxes and a printer. But we're with the help of our fantastic sponsors, we're gonna get a little bit better setup.
Yes,
but hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate you.
See you soon. Good
sure.
luck.
Not sure if that's part of the video.
Oh, it will be. Yeah, that is 100% part of the video.
Yes.